Okay, this is the Outsider's final test. First part, fill in this Google form, first and last name, your block number. The next question is just for fun. I am, don't worry, this question is just for fun, a greaser, a soc, neither, or gold. Number 1, in what decade does The Outsiders take place? 1950s, 1960s, 1980s, or 1990s? Number 2, whom does Johnny idolize and look to as a hero? Dallas, Ponyboy, Soda Pop, or Derry? Number 3, the protagonist of The Outsiders is Johnny Cade, Ponyboy Curtis, Dallas Winston, or Bob Sheldon? Number 4, the antagonist of The Outsiders is Dallas Winston, Johnny Cade, the Socias, or the police? Number 5, where does the following quote appear in the novel? When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only 2 things on my mind, Paul Newman and a ride home. The beginning, the climax, the end, or both the beginning and the end of the novel? Number 6, which of the following statements is not true about 2-Bit Matthews? He always has to get his 2-bits into the conversation. He thinks Ponyboy is a tag-along. He is still in school at the age of 18. He enjoys drinking alcohol and stealing. Number 7, several times throughout the text, Ponyboy mentions Derry's icy blue eyes. What do Derry's eyes suggest about his personality? Derry is intent and emotional. Derry is cold and logical. Derry is dreamy and unpredictable. Derry is tranquil and peaceful. Number 8, which of the following factored into shaping Johnny's shy, nervous personality? Check all that apply. His verbally abusive mother, his drunk, belligerent, physically abusive father, being jumped by the Socias, his gang. Number 9, which piece of text evidence supports the idea that Cherry cared about her reputation as a soc? I could fall in love with Dallas Winston. No, it wasn't Cherry the soc who was helping us. It was Cherry the dreamer who watched sunsets and couldn't stand. Bob was something special. He wasn't just any boy. Ponyboy, I mean, if I see you in the hall at school or someplace and don't say hi, well, it's not personal or anything. Number 10, in Chapter 2, Cherry tells Ponyboy things are rough all over. Finally, in Chapter 7, Ponyboy figured out what she meant by the statement. What did she mean? Everyone watches sunsets? The Socias have a harder life than the Greasers? The Greasers have a harder life than the Socias? Everyone has problems, and suffering is part of the human condition. Number 11, which piece of text evidence supports the idea that Dally wanted to die? He was jerked half around by the impact of the bullets, then slowly crumpled with a look of grim triumph on his face. 2 friends of mine had died last night, one a hero, the other a hoodlum. Dally reached the circle of light under the street lamp, and skidding to a halt, he turned and jerked a black object. We reached the vacant lot just as Dally came in, running as hard as he could from the opposite direction. Which piece of text evidence explains how Cherry believes Socias and Greasers are different? It's not money, it's feeling. You don't feel anything, and we feel too violently. I thought maybe it was the money that separated us. I had seen a social rumble once. The Socias even fought coldly and practically and impersonally. And she was trying to hide a smile. That's probably why we take turns getting our names in the paper. 13. The theme for the outsiders is check all that apply. Get to know someone before you judge them. Stay true to who you are. Always carry a heater. There's always a consequence for doing the right thing. Number 14. When Ponyboy told Randy Greaser didn't have anything to do with it, it's the individual he meant. Most Socs wouldn't have gone in to save the kids. Most Greasers wouldn't have gone in to save the kids. You can't tell everything about a person by the group he's a part of. Only he and Johnny would have done something like that. Why did Daly tell Johnny not to turn himself in? Daly would get in trouble for giving him the gun. He didn't want Johnny to end up hardened like him. His parents don't care. Number 16. What does Randy say Bob wanted from his parents that he never received? Money? To let him do what he wanted? To help him with his troubles? Or to tell him no? Number 17. Which of the following is an example of situational irony? I wondered what it would be like to be a burning ember. Quiet, soft-spoken little Johnny, who wouldn't hurt a living thing on purpose, had taken a human life. He's so greasy, instead of going to the barber to get a haircut, he goes to get an oil change. We were careful with our cigarettes. If that old church ever caught fire, there'd be no stopping it. Number 18. Which piece of text evidence supports the idea that Ponyboy and Derry's relationship is strained? And you were asleep in the lot? Ponyboy, what on earth is the matter with you? Can't you use your head? Derry isn't ever sorry for anything he does. Suddenly, I realized, horrified, that Derry was crying. He hadn't made a sound, but tears were running down his cheeks. It was my house as much as Derry's, and if he wanted to pretend I wasn't alike, that was just fine with me. So which ones show that the relationship is strained? Check all that apply. Number 19. Ponyboy explains the meaning of a few words greasers use so that we, the readers, will know exactly what he means when he uses them. He states, tough and tough are two different words. According to Ponyboy, what does tough mean? Rough and rugged, mean and sneaky, rich and snobby. Number 20. Why is Two-Bit relieved when he sees Pony picking up the broken glass? He didn't think Pony was being tough enough. He was worried that Pony was getting hardened like Daly. He didn't want anyone to get a flat tire. He wanted the Socs to pick up the glass. "21. Ponyboy tells Randy during his visit, while Ponyboy was sick in bed, that Johnny killed Bob, Two-Bit killed Bob, Daly killed Bob, or that himself, Ponyboy, killed Bob." Okay, next section is matching for the characters. You're going to match the appropriate character to their description. So here we have the description, and then you will pick the appropriate character. Okay, your screen probably looks a little different. Just because they're across from these does not mean that it's the right answer. Okay, we'll pick up here. A wisecracker and expert shoplifter. Number 2, attractive like a Greek god. Number 3, frightened, abused, the pet of the gang. 4, tough and cold from the streets of New York. 5, serious, determined, no college education. And 6, Soda Pop's